Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you guys are doing well and fine. We are here with another video for dusky and problematic skin. It is a step-by-step makeup tutorial for all of you guys. It is a detailed makeup tutorial by Adyaraj. Hope you guys have fun. Firstly, we've used Emeralize, which includes a primer and it's used for sensitive skin. Next is the application of the lens. I usually do it with the help of a lens applicator. Try avoid using your hand as much as you can so that no dust particle enters the eyes and cause any kinds of itching. Moving on to the next step, that is the eye makeup. For that, the first step will be using a concealer of the same shade of the eyes. Here, I'm using a concealer from Too Faced throughout the eyelid till the eyebrows evenly and trying to blend it all over the eyelid perfectly. Do not, you know, think that this is an easy step and try to move on by just rubbing it. Just try to spread it as much as you can. Moving on to the next step, we'll be using the Huda Beauty Loose Powder to set the concealer completely so that there's no creasing or there's no any kind of, you know, breakouts or anything in the eye. You can also use a same shade eyeshadow to set the concealer, but here I try to, I want a long lasting effect, so I'm using a loose powder. So I feel like that's way better to hold the eye makeup in place. So yes, there are two steps to do this. One is a loose powder and the other one is the eyeshadow. So now after this, what we'll be doing is we're moving to the eyeshadow. So you can choose any kind of eyeshadow on based of, the color of your client's outfit. So, but try to avoid using red, green, dark pinks, bright pinks on your client, especially when they have a darker tone. So here I'm using a neutral pink that, complements the skin tone on the outer part of the eye, on the crease area, evenly on both the eyes. And the next step here, what I'm doing is I start with the inner corner and I apply it till the eyeball. So till the starting of the eyeball, from the inner corner to the starting of the eyeball, I apply the same shade eyeshadow and I smoke out in the corner using the same shade. So here again it is. I use it in the inner corner and I smoke out with the same shade I've used for the crease. So doing this, you leave some center space for the glitter. So I'm going to be using a glitter that's going to be more complementing for the skin and as well as the costume that they're going to be wearing. Here you can see how beautifully and elegant the glitter looks on the skin. It doesn't look too much like it's popping out or anything like that. So the next step that I'll be doing is a smudge. So I shall be applying the liner down on the eyes and a little bit outside because she has a prominent eye shape. So you can't really do this shape for someone who has a tinier eye compared to this. So I will be setting this using a black eyeshadow so that it doesn't smudge out completely when you rub your eye or anything like that. This is setting the kajal in place. So this is one of the easy steps to do. And the next step is I will be cleaning the excess amount of, the eyeliner or anything like that using a Q-tip or a brush or anything. So yes, this is how the eyeshadow or the eye makeup is set. So I have also smudged on the top part of the eye. It is not that I've smudged only on the bottom. It's done on both the ways. Trust me, this is one of the easiest way to apply a eyeliner or, you know, a kajal. It gives you that bold effect. It gives you that smudgy effect as a lot of you have seen that Bollywood actresses might go for. So the next step I'm doing is applying the eyelashes, fake eyelashes. So apply the fake eyelashes and I'm just rubbing a coat of same colored eyeshadow to not give that visible effect of the glue, and pulling the eyes through the corner so that they don't have any discomfort. So the next step I'm going to be doing is start off with the skin. Even though the skin is oily, moisturizer is very important. So now I will be using a moisturizer, a silicone based primer, and also a pore minimizer. The next step is to place a tissue on top of your face and remove the excess oil from your face so that it does not oxidize the makeup. What do I mean by oxidization of makeup? The makeup will turn out to look grayish on your skin rather than the skin tone. So this is one of the most important steps that you have to follow. Here I'll be using a color corrector in the shade orange to cover all the pigmentation, the dark spots, the discoloration in your skin. So as you can see, since it's a problematic skin, I will have to be using it all over the skin. So yes, so I'm using it throughout the skin. And be gentle. Ask them if they're feeling okay. Ask them if they're feeling any kind of discomfort. Ask them if they're do they want anything like water. Take care of your client. They are one of the most important assets of you. And next, I'll be using a lighter shade of color corrector to cut down on the orange on your skin. So as you can see, it's turning out to be a more shade of orange. But once you blend it, you get to know how it works, um, how you'll like correct it, how you'll get it back to the normal skin tone and all of that. So yes, I have used orange corrector to cover all the pigmentation scars, and I've used a tinge of yellow corrector to balance out the orange completely. So blend it out perfectly throughout the skin, like I'm doing here, because she has problematic throughout the skin. If it's not throughout the skin, try to stick onto the areas, but since it's throughout the skin, I'm going to be using it this way. And the next step I'm going to be doing is use a concealer of the same shade. I repeat, same shades to give a natural and a glammy look. I'll be also mixing the foundation with the concealer to save on time and to give that glowy and that dewy look that I personally like. So I've mixed the foundation and the concealer of the same shade and I'm blending it throughout the skin. Moving on to the next step, that is the highlighting technique. Here I'm using a 2 shades lighter concealer on the high points of the face, and I am blending it out only in the areas where I have applied the concealer. Do not try to spread it, try to stick onto the places you've applied the concealer. Here I've used a concealer from LA Girl which falls under the affordable range. And the next step that I'm going to be doing is baking. So everywhere that I've highlighted, the next step I'm going to be doing is baking it or setting it in place. Here again, I'm using the Huda Beauty loose powder. Trust me when I say this, Huda Beauty loose powders is one of the best. You can also go with Laura Mercier, that's also good, but I prefer Huda Beauty. So here I'm setting the highlighting that I did with the baking. Moving on to the next step, that is the eyebrows. I usually don't try to, overshade the eyebrows or give more shape to it or anything like that. I try to stick on to, the original shape and cover the cuts or, the uneven hair that's happening there. That's the only thing I try to do. I do not try to do anything else apart from that. And one more tip for oily skin, don't use much of a highlighter. You can see because of the oil secretion or all that, they already have a glowy skin. Here I'm using very minimal highlighter in general. So the highlighter here is going to go to the cheeks, the collarbones, the most prominent areas where you want the highlighting to be. If you feel the highlighter is too much, take a blender and blend it throughout so that it doesn't look a lot of highlighting. Moving on to the next step, the lipstick. When I say this, keep this one point in mind. For darker skin tones, go with more of mauve shades because it is one of the shades that complement them very, very well. So I'm going with a deeper mauve shade for the lip liner and a little lighter for the lipstick. So yes, you can see how beautifully it complements the skin tone and the entire look in total. And this is also on her costume, so it's gonna complement that as well. But trust me, any color would not go this well with dusky skin tone as compared to mauve. And yes, that's the final look for you guys. I've um, used a Fix It spray from MAC and set the makeup. You can see my students helping me fix all the jewelry and get the look together on a whole. I've kept a bindi that complements the with the blouse. So yeah, and giving some final touches, adding on the jewelry, the jade billa, the neck piece, the bangles, and all of that. And yes, this is the final look, giving some final touches. You can see our look in three, two, and one. You can see how beautifully this look turned out. How gorgeous does she look? So, if you also want to learn makeup techniques that are similar to these, you can always join our makeup courses, which includes sari draping, hairstyling, and makeup on a whole. So you can learn different kinds of makeup, different kinds of hairstyling, different kinds of sari draping from us and expertise in all of these. So for more such contents, follow us on Instagram and on YouTube and give us a like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Have a good day.